What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. We're going to talk about a little bit about what's going on in this market right now to give you a little bit of an idea of what the next move is for Bitcoin. And there are some signs so far that are pretty concerning. I think they've tended to kind of break themselves out of whatever problem, if you will, there may be. So we might be looking at some nice reversal coming up very very shortly. It's possible, but it really looks like when you're watching these charts right now that what you're seeing is um, you're seeing some signs of weakness in Bitcoin. Now, ultimately, the weakness in Bitcoin is just incidental to everything else because, in fact, Bitcoin's not weak in any way. The ETFs continue to do their thing. They continue to buy up. They continue to basically manifest themselves. Like this is there's some great opportunity, and there will be some incredible opportunity here at some point. Very very soon. We're going to get to that gigantic moon phase, if you will. But today, we could be looking at a retracement of some sort. I'm going to break that down for you and give you some ideas about where it would be headed. Um, and let's kick it off with we're going to drop into the Bitcoin. Sorry, I want to do this kind of quickly today to get you guys informed because I just the market is kind of weird right now. Solana having a nice little pump. Pith uh, is having a nice little pump. Sui is having a nice little pump. But of course, the U.S. market being the takers that I continue to say that, and I feel disrespectful to the takers. But by the way, we flashed a Batman signal too. So, but they continue to be takers, and we're not seeing that enormous pump that we would that we had been seeing up until this point. Um, we're not seeing that anymore in the market. So now we've got this consolidation, and the consolidations continue to happen a little bit more and more uh, over time. So also we have a little bit of a new format here. So hopefully now the format on the weekdays isn't going to change. The layout of the screen. I want to know how you guys like this. So this is the new layout. Do you like this? If you like it, by the way, let me know in the comment section. We'll see. Does it look good? Is it clean? Can you read it pretty well? You know what I mean? So if you like this, then we'll see. But so anyway, we're looking at the day first of all, and I did go ahead and upgrade my TradingView plan for a little bit better tools and stuff that we can use all at once. By the way, if you haven't already, there's the Batman signal right there. Look at it. We got shoulders, and we got the bat kicking it live, G style here. So anyway, I expected to see this move up here into about 80,000 and then a rejection back down. Now, I wasn't sure where we would go, but generally speaking, it looks like 63,000 seems to be the number, right? So if I'm looking at it, then I want to put a ray kind of right into this little range here where I'm touching as much as possible and showing that that's kind of the area, right? 62.5 seems to be about the range by which we could see ourselves falling. Now, if you're aggressive on it, you could move it up here just a little bit and you can make an argument that the number is more in line with 63, kind of almost to the point 63,000. When you look at it, it just kind of makes sense that number is the spot. So, if you will, I think that's a fair number. Okay. If you look at the fib retracement, gives you a tail of about 61,433, 65. This is the extension. Sorry. Retracement still working on the lower time frames. But as you can see right here, we're kind of in this range, and you should be nervous, by the way. You should be kind of nervous about the position that we're in right now on that little bounce. Now, the good news is that it rejected right here off of this 20 MA. Now, this red line, for those of you that don't know, that don't watch me all the time, you might see This is the 20 MA, and that's been a point of contention for a long period of time. So as long as we're continuing to stay above that, we're bullish. As long as we continue to bounce off of it strongly, we're bullish. I'm going to take you back here. We just bounced off of it, and we had a nice little recovery, but it's a muted recovery. It should be noted that in this run up, and let's kind of break this run up. We're going to close the RSI for a second here, and we're going to close everything out here and just kind of look at this a little more broadly. The pattern that we're seeing emerge is three lows coming in, three deeper lows every single day, with a curvature right here showing upward momentum might happen if we close out well. Now, what you've seen over here, if you come back here and look, we're going back into 2023 right now. You've not seen this pattern emerge yet. This is not, we haven't topped out. Like, well, here's our top. When we topped out over here, you can see it was a flash move here, and then it was a crash down for a couple days. Then we came back down and we tested the 100 MA, and then we took off. And then this is where it really got interesting. This is where we took off, and now we sideways, and now we're taking off again. And now this is the first time, zooming back in here, this is the first time that we've gone in this pattern in a very long time. So this means that the top is kind of in this short time frame. I mean, that's really what it shows you on this chart, that the top is in. Now, we don't see a lot of wicking up here. We don't see a lot of passion, and we see a lot of buy pressure coming in at this range right here, kind of like this buy pressure. Now, the issue in so much as if there is an issue is maybe, just maybe, we're getting faked out, because take that big wick right there, take that big wick right there, and look right next to it. We had a little fight, and then we ended up edging our way back up, right? So same thing might be playing out right here. We might have a big kind of wild day right here, and then it could be on its way back up, and we may hit 80,000. We may, like it's programmed in. We already know that it's coming. It's just a matter of when that's going to come. Can we time the market right? Can we play the market right? Well, it looks like to me that we're back into a bullish paradigm, if you will, but I don't like the fact that it's taken a couple days to get here. That means the market has weakened. So when the market weakens, now when you see these big wicks like this, that usually means over the next couple days we're going to get a constant sort of buy pressure, right? Well, we've got the big wick right here. Are we going to get a constant sort of buy pressure propel us up to where we're thinking that it's going to go, right? Are we going to get that? I don't know. When I come down here and I look and I see those wicks, when I see those wicks, I know that means a big move is imminent to the upside. However, when you see it on the top, it does mean we're coming back down to find some correction. Now, that makes everything here kind of intriguing, especially because we're getting into the halving very soon. So it's an interesting sort of scenario that we're set up at, and I don't know exactly how this plays out. Like, I really don't know how this plays out. If I'm betting, then I'm betting that 63 is going to be the area where we bounce. But it's got to be noted that a lot of people are going to tell you that there are certain spots, right, where we continue to touch. Like, if you look at the range of time that it took from here to here to touch the 100 MA, that was 100 bars, so 100 days, right? And then if you look at it coming over here from the time we touched to the time we touched here, 58. So if you look at where we touched here to where we touched over here, 47. So it takes a little while to catch up to the MA, right? Well, if we consider that last time we touched was kind of right here, how far are we into this range? Well, that's so far, as of today, we're 50 bars in. So if we were to go 100 bars in, that really takes us past the halving, right? And if we're still in a bullish mode, then what does it look like in a long time frame? Well, it looks like we're kind of just meandering along here into this range. So if this plays out, and I didn't do that exactly right, because it looks like it just kind of going in that direction. So if we come up into this range and we still continue just a little bit of pump, then maybe we still touch it, but it's still going to be in that 60,000. Like, we could be looking at a real downward spike. Well, the thing about the institutions is they're trying to create value in the sentiment for the price action, but the institutions are buyers, but the institutions are sellers because they're still trying to make money. So, you've got some people out here that are not ETFs that are still institutional traders that are causing these wild price swings. When you come to the 1 hour, you can see, like, we're getting that enormous volatility starting again. Whoops. So you got this gigantic you got this gigantic sweep right here. You got this gigantic sweep right here. If we take, for example, let's move this out and let's change the dynamic of what we're talking about here. And let's say that this is really kind of the range that it looks like now, right? Because that covers the sweep. So we're still in this upward momentum and we broke out of it, but we came back in, right? Matter of fact, we didn't even mint a candle outside of it. We just wicked down through the range. So if that's the case, then it looks like we're having the recovery, right? Well, this recovery wick led to, and it looks at there's no, it doesn't, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, right? So it looks like we had a very strong buyback and we had a nice little run back up to a new all-time high, right? Well, now we had the same thing starting to happen right here, and we were on our way to a new all-time high, but it immediately got rejected right here. So we have to ask ourselves what happened there, because we had yesterday this wick up into 70,000 one more time, and then immediately it got sold off. That's a liquidity sweep, guys. It's a perfect liquidity sweep. If we look at the liquidation heat map, maybe we get an idea. We're ranging around 68,008 right now. It looks like we've bounced off of this pool, right? So then the next move it would look like would be up into this range. This is where most of the money is, all the way up through 71,000. Well, there's still a little pool down here at the bottom. This is the lower time frame. As we raise the time frame and the value gets more, then we might see something different. And here's what we see right now. There's a gigantic pull sitting down here into this range down here, all the way down to, let's call it 66,003. By the way, if it comes down here, it could still go down a little further because that's still, a pretty good amount. And then the reversal could be in and it would start to move in this direction. Now, here's the problem. The problem is if we continue down, then what we've now created is a bearish momentum. So let me point out what the bearish momentum kind of looks like here. So this is where we are right now. We're not heading up, we're heading down, right? And if we bounce off of this again, and again, we're on the hour time frame, so it's a little easier to see here, but if we bounce off of this green line one more time right here, and you see it, right? It's happening right there. So if we come up here and we bounce off of, what is it, 69,000, if we bounce strongly off of 69,000 and we don't hold the support right here, it is my opinion that we're headed down, because now we've created this, and it's like that's the way we're going to stair step our way down if we don't just completely wick out and go way down. I hope that makes sense. That's just in my mind what I'm seeing. And as a matter of fact, as I see this, I realize, let's move this over here, that way. Boom. But that's the way that it looks, in fact, in this overall. So that's the way that this thing plays out. Now, here's the other part. Let's remove that and let's say that we break through. Let's say that we bounce off, and then boom, we bust through. Well, we're back in this trend line then, and we should expect to be pressing up here and probably getting rejected right here, which is still 69,000. But if we bounce there and then use it as an impetus, and then it starts to curl upwards, then we're back in business and we're back good. And by the way, that's not a magical thing. That's just the 108 MA, but we've come way down in a short period of time. So it's about it's a question right now of, are we going to test a new all-time high? That's the question right now. So we're at 73,007. We're holding. I did think right here that we were going to get to, and this is where it's not working out. Like I thought we were going to continue on because it looked like we were in a continuation phase, right? And we did, but we didn't continue dramatically up, right? We popped out, came back down, did another one of those big sweeps. So now we're back into liquidity sweep area, and then boom, we come up here at 73.5. We come back down for a wick, and then we come back up, and then we're testing 74, kind of right there. and then now we're down. Now we're just sweeping the pool. So what do the pools look like? Well, this is what it looks like. So we're in the range right now where we've come down into this, and it looks like we're stair stepping again. So if we stair step down 66,000, now let's get into a little bit bigger of a time frame with a little more volume. And then you can see like it's starting to wane, but the big pool is now above. Okay, so when you zoom out, you're starting to see that the sharks are here. With the bears are the ones that are pushing the price down, and they've taken short positions all the way up here. So that's where things, now things are a little different. So if we're doing a big sweep right now, 70,400, right? That's going to be a big move right there. And then up here a little bit higher is 71.1, 596 million. So there's money sitting here at the top. It's just a question of now, are we going to go get it? Because otherwise, then you got this down here, which is 690. It's a 65 million. So there's not money missing in this market, right? The money's not missing. It's just it's down lower or it's down above, and it's a question of what momentum indicator is going to propel us one way or another. So that's what we're dealing with right now, and that's what we're looking at as the next sort of paradigm and level to make something happen. So the next thing is let's look at a few altcoins and kind of get an idea of what's going on with some of these alts because Ethereum, I think Ethereum is dying right now. I told you guys that I thought that it was going to come down here into this 35 range. Of course, that means the broader market's going to do the same thing. So Ethereum seems to be, the Denkun hangover is here. So now we're going to bounce at the 382. The question now is, do we come down into the 0.5 at 3,300, and that's what it looks like. I mean, the long term here does not look as bullish as it did before. Not to say that we're not still in a pretty good range, but again, if we bounce off of the 382 and then we wick our way back up here and we start trying a new high pretty soon, that's going to keep people locked in. If we don't keep people locked in, then people will start selling. You will start seeing it. Now, by the way, when I say that, let's go look at as an example. If you don't keep people locked in with high price action, they're going to sell. Now, what happened here? If you look at Myro, that's exactly what's happening over here. If you don't keep people locked in, making money, moving towards the upside, continuing to mint new highs, continuing to improve. If you don't do that, then you're coming back down. So now the question is, can Myro hold this position, or is it falling all the way down again to 17 cents? Like, I mean, those are the questions that you have to ask. Now, the market, I'll tell you this, the reason the reason that Myro is not ripping right now, and the reason that Dog with Hat is not ripping, there's of course BOME that came out. That one's causing a problem there. But as you go down the list of meme coins and stuff like that, everything is just getting like obliterated. And it's getting obliterated because Solana's pumping super hard. Solana's at $192. It was up to 195 just a little while ago. So, this whole thing is just, look at this, bloody red. Myro down 18%. Trump down to 562. Guys, that's a buy opportunity for a lifetime. I just want to tell you guys that. Just want to tell you, in my opinion. Now, the other thing is, I saw an article that says the meme coin season is over. So that could be a real big problem. We're looking at the strength over here on Trump, right? Well, Trump hit the 786 down here not that long ago at 480 something. And I mean, look at where it is right now. It literally came down into the range where you'd be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And then it bounced pretty strong, but it's still in that spot right there. $4.78. That's a woof. Like that's and 261 million market cap. Like you can pick that up and just absolutely go. You know what I mean? So, or I think it does anyway. But if this meme coin season is dust at this point, then I mean, what do we do now? So, and you're seeing some weakness, I mean, everywhere. So the question is, how do we survive this weekend? What does it look like through the weekend? Solana's pumping. Now it's starting to dump down a little bit more, but it's still pumped for the day. Python, look at Python having just a perfect breakout textbook. There's the impulse move right there. It's coming down. It's in test mode at this point off of the 618, but it got rejected off of the 5 and it's coming back down as well. So, there's something not the market is taking money right now. The market looks like more and more people are deciding that the market has pumped as high as it's going to go right now, and it's either retooling for the next big impulse move, or we've got a lot of sideways action coming forward. Today, I don't know how the day is going to look, but Sui and Jupiter, by the way, absolutely banging out right now. Sui Sui had a nice rip from this little move down here to $1.33, now ripping above $1.70. So it's had a fantastic sort of move. And look, I mean, if you're looking for opportunities, here's what I'd be doing. Like I'd be looking at these right here and like find your bottoms. Find the bottom. Find projects that you think are good. This is the moment right now to start scooping shit up. You know what I mean? Like this is the moment right here where you get those. Look at the memes. The memes are coming down hard, by the way. Bone, look at this. Bone is all the way down to where it started a little while back when I was telling you guys, like, like when we were losing confidence at Bone down here in this range. Boom, it goes off, and now look at it now here. And by the way, let's look at the impulse move on this time frame, and then boom, we're bouncing around the 786. Like I mean, here it is. It could be meme coin season is over, by the way. So I don't know for sure. I think maybe we're getting altcoins. Maybe we're getting altcoins, and then it'll move on to memes again. But I mean, everything is looking super weak right now. All of the strength, all of the good, all of the good stuff is over. Now, here's the funny thing: when we're looking at some of these, the blue chips, when we're looking at the blue chips, I mean, you could say whatever you want about it, but I mean, Jesus Christ, we're consolidating at 68,000. I mean, give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? Like we're Ethereum. We had a mad pump here. We're not exactly consolidating at this range, but I mean, well, it looks like we are kind of at 3650, 3600. BNB is like an arrow pointing straight up at this point. You know what I mean? Solana, like an arrow pointing straight up. Almost the same for Render. Render had that gigantic move right there. API still hasn't broken out yet. Will break out, but hasn't broken out yet. Lunk, because it's part of the meme protocols until it's not, it is doing the same thing, broke to the downside. Of course, USTC did. Volt did as well. Look at this. Volt came all the way back down from almost dropping the zero to, I mean, this is how big the move was for Volt for that period of time. And now look at it starting to correct back down again. And by the way, if you look at it from the impulse, if you're volted and you're looking at it from the impulse, like you're not even you just hit the 5. So you probably got some more downside coming. You know what I mean? So Cardano, not as robust as some of the others, but still on that blue chip thing. Avalanche taking off. Aave did take off, but then kind of rejected back down. I'm glad I got out when I did, though, because I got out at 151, like right in this range right here. Well, I think it was like 150, but I got real close to the top right here, and I'm glad I did because now it's coming way back down. So Bone, again, 87. Doge breaking down. Arbitrum breaking down. Atom breaking down. Conflux not breaking down, pumping. Crow had a big run. Really did a good job. Still in a breakout, but again, it's got that retracement. Should be seeing lower lows coming in pretty soon, unless we get a reversal in the market. So there we are. Phantom almost hit $1 just recently. So, and I told you guys it was going to come up here. God damn it! Why did I pick that right? Did I look at this shit right here? Did I pick that one correct or not? It went up exactly to where we said it was going to go. But anyway, so and it broke to the upside on that channel. So shout out to you if you got into FTM. Then the rest, then the rest of it, I mean, it's hit or miss. So the point to all of this is we're sitting in a very weird sort of position right now, sitting in like very weird sort of shape. This market looks like it's breaking down. It looks like the enthusiasm absolutely ended, right? It looks like everybody who was super bullish was just now all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Bitch, I'm good. I mean, so, uh, I mean, where are the ETFs? Well, the ETFs are fine. You know what I mean? Like the ETFs are still running fine. They had a big day again on Friday, so it's not the ETFs at this point. Now it's just people who are looking to take profit because they're hitting the all-time high on Bitcoin. They're trying to pull profits away. They're trying to change their life, change everything. So now they're looking for everybody else to do the same so that they can get back into their position and continue to go. And then I'll tell you this, Bohm kind of fucked everybody over because it went to 1.5 billion market cap in 2 days or something like that. And I saw some guy that put in 600,000, ended up making $4.3 million in profit. Um, so there we are. Now, to cover one of the guys I talked to you about a lot before, Mustache. Altcoins will go so much higher, in my opinion. And he's pointing that we just broke out of the descending channel, and now we're gonna have a back test. We're gonna break out, retest, and then boom, meme coins are about to, or altcoins are about to moon. So then the question at that point becomes, is that right? Well, if you go to look at the ETH to Bitcoin pairing, boom, 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 boom. You can see right here, we're not in breakout mode at all, despite whatever he's coming up with or whatever whatever he's seeing. Altcoin season 47, it's very much cooled off. You know what I mean? Whatever we thought we were getting is now just kind of cooled as Bitcoin's kind of ripped. So, now here we are. So what I think is going to happen is it's looking to me like I want to say that it's still bullish. I mean, I really do, but it does not look that way. It looks like we're about to hit that. Um, it looks pretty bearish to me. I mean, like, by the way, if you're looking here, you have this move up here while you have this move down here. That's a bearish divergence. So, that's not what wait, that's a bullish divergence. God damn it. No, that's a bearish divergence. So it looked like we were due to come down because you can see it minting itself right there. And I don't see anything bullish right now. So uh, be careful. And the channel ranges here are telling me that we could break down into, like we already did right here, but we got another kind of range here. Buy at the bottom of this range, I guess. If you're looking for an opportunity, if it breaks down into this range, hit 67,000, buy some more. You know what I mean? And let it run. I mean, I think Bitcoin ultimately goes up. I think we're not that far away from seeing an $80,000 Bitcoin. Like, we're really not. It's just a question now of how far down are we going to come, and what is the situation going to look like, for Bitcoin? Do we come back down? Now, here's my position, and I'm not down, but I'm not in the same amount of profit that I was in before. By the way, you can use MEXC again if you haven't already. And by the way, you can trade a bunch on MEXC right now if you want to, because they actually they actually changed their fees again so that they're not screwing everybody over. Um, and I know that they don't want me to say it that way, but I don't have any other words for it because I feel like I'm being truthful about it. But they're not putting the screws, if you will, um, the way that they were before. They're actually paying. So, and I don't mean, like, I mean, again, I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be an asshole about it, but I mean, they did it. I didn't. You know what I mean? Now I need to add in. There we go. All right. So you can see right here that I'm in profit in the amount of 753. So I'm up about 100% on the position. Not doing horrible. Um, not doing great. Again, if this rips up to 75, then 2,400 profit, which would be a pretty good play. If it goes up to 80, like if I'm 80,000 be 3,735. Let's just go ahead and throw that in there. You know what I mean? Let's just go ahead and throw that in there. And then I'm going to set myself a stopping buy. I've had a couple good days on MEXC, by the way. So I'm going to set myself a stop on this liquidation right here of 62.7. I'm going to put in some buys that hit me at about 62,800, just make an enormous. I'm going to double this margin at that level if it comes down to that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll be looking to do, because I'm going to protect this one, because in my mind, this is going to be the big one. Like this Bitcoin long right here. I'm going to DCA, and I'm just going to continue to add to the bag as I go. If it comes down, and if I get into the range where I'm no longer, my buy order, my average buy now at this point, because I DCA'd, was 65,287. It was originally 61.9, but I just keep buying on the way up. So if it comes down below 65,287, I'm going to add to that bag. It would be worth like throwing $1,000 in, just to create a lower sort of range right there. But what I would do is probably put in, half of this, so another 300 in at 65 if it comes down, or 64 if it comes down, and then I'm going to set a big buy, which is going to be over 1,000, and I'm going to set that at 62.7, just in case it continues to come down, to get myself a lower range. And then I might even, if I have to, throw another 1,000 at it at 56, just in case. You know what I mean? Like just kind of DCA my way down, because when it reverses, and it will reverse, and it'll reverse big time. When it does, it's going to 80,000, and it's just a matter right now of how much am I going to make it 80,000. You know what I mean? I mean, it's programmed in, it's plugged in. Like we're still up only. You know what I mean? We're just having one of these days where for the last 2 days, it's just kind of waned because we hit that all-time high, and now we're trying to figure things out. Remember, it takes about 3 weeks for an altcoin season to really kick in. So it could be that we're looking at an altcoin season getting ready to start happening. So that's what it looks like. That's how the charts are breaking out, guys. It's time for me to get out of here. Just want to give you a 30-minute update about what's going on in the market. If you haven't been paying attention, bearish divergence on the charts. Obviously, we came down. Are we going to stay at this level? By the way, we're looking at 15, 20% drawdowns. That may not even be the case anymore. It might be 10% is our number, because the ETFs hold so much Bitcoin right now, and they hold so much power. And that creates such a run on price action, because there's not a lot of Bitcoin on exchanges. It might just be propping the price up, and it might just be keeping us in that range. I don't know that that's the case yet. That's a working theory for me right now, saying that, that's why we're in the up only sort of paradigm. And look, when we break down here, we broke down a couple times. We broke down and we came into this range. We went back up. We broke down. We came into this range. We're not as strong coming out of this range right now. So, that could be a problem. But, if we come back up here and we do a retest at 75 in the next little while, then that would actually make perfect sense. And then we'd all be able to look at it and say, well, we're still bullish. We're still bullish long term, right? But we're getting to the halving. We're getting to that point. We have less than 30 days until the halving. What the fuck number did I put? Where am I? I don't even know what this is anymore. Like, fuck my fucking life. Okay, that is the halving. Okay, that's the halving. All right, so and I got it set for the 25th. It's probably gonna be a little sooner than that, but I mean, shit, I'm the guy that called 50, right? We're gonna do it on 420. There we go. So there it is. All right, guys. So that's it. Be very careful. I look for some volatility. I mean, hit your liquidation map. Try to figure out, where you think it's going to go, and then do the best that you can. Hit the like button on your way out. And before we do, I'm going to run an ad real quick. I got a new one for Cryptonomy.finance. Cryptonomy.finance just launched a research section, so make sure that you go check that out today. Learn a little bit more about crypto that you may not have known before. If you are a corporate client, you can have a relationship manager and a lot of customer support, superior OTC services, and institutional tools that will help you in your venture. Also, if you sign up for the VIP course, you can get in touch with high-touch wealth management personnel and a lot of different people, and personalized information as you need in order to successfully navigate this crypto system. Also, if you look at my moves right now, you can see that I'm earning over 106 Solana on my last staking. My Tether, I'm going to earn 1,670 on my staking so far. You can see there's some of these I've earned $784. I can't cash out for a while, but I've earned 784 so far. And then in the launch pool, guys, if you haven't checked the launch pool out, you've got to check the launch pool. Look at these ROIs that I'm getting right now. It's fantastic. 20x on K9 Finance, 7x on Weave, on Block Jerk. If you put a stake into